One thing I can say about general manager Brad Holmes is that he has definitely taken the role of villain. We've been talking about it ever since the combine when we saw the hoodie. And to my knowledge, there is no official merchandise as of yet when it comes to the villain hoodie. But the reason I brought that up is because this general manager, from the draft to anything else, has shown us that he is about the team first. And that's always been the general manager that we've wanted. One of the things that he had to do is he had to clear out the old and bring in the new. And two people that he did not choose, Jeff Okuda and DeAndre Swift, were just let go of the Detroit Lions within 2 weeks of each other. And DeAndre Swift, for as much as you wanted to root for him, you had to call a spade a spade. You saw it. He was always like the thing that was out of reach, the thing you really, really wanted, but was out of reach. We knew what he could do. We've seen it, but he couldn't be consistent. And to be that second round pick, taking that high in the 2020 draft, and then not be able to produce in a way that we wanted him to, it was time to let go. And ironically, none of that draft class, none of them are doing that well. I've said this before. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Chiefs declined his fifth-year option. He was the first running back taken at the end of the 2020 first round in the draft. J.K. Dobbins, the best running back out of all of them is Jonathan Taylor, and he's been like up and down, but I think he's the best one. But DeAndre Swift is kind of salty, man, about there have been some rumors that he requested a trade when Jameer was drafted. And although I have not verified those rumors, they could be true because I saw an interview today, and it always stings a little bit when you hear a player that gets traded. And us as a fan, we're stuck here. And these people are almost like family, but family that we have to let go. You know what I mean? And it stings a little bit when you see somebody that has been, whether you wanted him there or not, because I thought DeAndre Swift was on the trade block, but it stings a little bit when they have to go to a new team and then you see them with the colors on and talking about we, when a couple of days ago they were just on our team. But I think DeAndre Swift is just a smidget salty when it comes to the Detroit Lions trading him. We're going to listen to something, and this is coming from the Philadelphia YouTube channel. I want to say it's the Philadelphia Sports or something like that YouTube channel. And here is what DeAndre Swift was saying about the trade from the Detroit Lions. Let's take a listen.
Go ahead, Tim, and then Chris Franklin.
Hey, DeAndre, was it a surprise to you that you ended up getting traded, and what was Detroit's explanation for that?
Yes, it was a surprise. There's no really explanation. Everything kind of went through my agent. Like I said, there's a lot of different emotions going up and down. I'm excited to be here. But first and foremost, thank Detroit for everything. To the city of Detroit, will forever have a place in my heart. Will love them for the opportunity that they gave me to just go out there and live out my dreams. But like I said, I'm excited for this new chapter.
Tough love approach for you last year and during training camp. What was your response to how that went? And do you think that carry over? Do you think it was a fair assumption to think that you weren't tough enough by then when they're trying to put you through that?
The way it kind of came off, I would say, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know I'm as tough as they come. But with Hard Knocks and everything, kind of how to portray it, I didn't like it, but I can't do nothing about it but go out there and showcase what I am and who I am and what I'm about, and I know what I can do and who I am.
Go ahead, John, and then Ed Kratz.
And you know what? DeAndre Swift is, you could take that as a lot of things. You could say he's salty. He's salty for the fact of how he was portrayed on Hard Knocks. And it's sad because this guy, we have been rooting for him. I personally wanted Swift to succeed. I never did like Jeff Okuda in the pick. Not Jeff Okuda the person, but Jeff Okuda the pick. And we always wanted DeAndre Swift to succeed. And I believe that he's tough. I believe he could be as tough as they come, but that's not what we saw. That's not what Deuce Staley saw. Now, Deuce could have been hamming it up that the cameras were there. But to me, it seems like Deuce was on to something, because Deuce was telling him, we talked about it today, hit the hole, be decisive, go through that hole. And we saw him take that on the first 3 games of the season. And it's almost like when DeAndre Swift gets hurt, his confidence gets shaken, and then he comes out not being the same player. I mean, this guy was on fire, and maybe Hard Knocks and what he was portrayed as to the world was the fire that lit him through those first 3 games. And then when he went down in Minnesota, I believe it was, he was never the same. And it took him almost the entire season to get back to what we knew he could do. So I wish DeAndre Swift the best. I mean, we don't play him this year. We don't play the Philadelphia Eagles. And when we do, obviously, I myself don't root for other players when they're not with the team. I don't care how long they've been with the team. I don't root for players once they leave the Detroit Lions. Do I have any ill feelings? I don't. You could see he said that he was surprised. He was surprised. So it makes you wonder how this thing actually went down. But I will say this about, like I said, I wish DeAndre Swift the best. And I say that Brad Holmes is definitely, every time, like, he's showing us continually that he is the GM that is going to take care of business. When in his press conference, he said that it was time for, like, everybody needed a fresh start. So that means they took Jahmyr Gibbs. DeAndre Swift had no idea what was happening. And like I said, the rumors began to swirl that he wanted to trade at that point. That could be true, but within 48 hours, he was gone. He went back home, and everybody seems to be better off for it. But we played the Eagles 2 years in a row, and then we trade DeAndre Swift, and now we don't play them this year. So maybe that time will come. And I think both times we actually played them at home, if I'm not mistaken. I think they came to Ford Field last year in 2021. So this is going to be intriguing the next time we face DeAndre Swift. But DeAndre Swift right now is a Philadelphia Eagle for 1 year. So it's very well that we might not even see him the year after next. So listen, DeAndre Swift, do I detect a little salt? Just a little bit. Just a little Lowry's, some seasoning salt in there. But like any other, he understands. He goes on to say he understands it's a business. And like any other business, you have to do what's best for the business. And that was best for trading him away. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think DeAndre Swift is just a twinge salty from not knowing that he was going to get traded? So that means he's sitting and he hears Jahmyr Gibbs and he's like, what? So, but I think he handled it pretty well during the interview. You guys can check it out if you see fit. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.